Have you ever heard of a monster so scary it had to be locked away? That's the Minotaur for you. His story starts on the island of Crete, with a king named Minos. King Minos was powerful, but he made a big mistake. He promised to sacrifice a beautiful white bull to Poseidon, the god of the sea. But when he saw the bull, he decided to keep it. Gods really don't like it when you break your promises, especially a powerful one like Poseidon. He decided to teach King Minos a lesson he would never ever forget. Poseidon's revenge was strange and terrible. He made Pasiphae, the king's wife, fall deeply in love with the white bull. It sounds crazy, I know, but with the gods involved, anything can happen. She asked the famous inventor Daedalus to help her. He built a hollow wooden cow so she could get close to the bull. From this bizarre and tragic union, a creature was born. It had the body of a man, but the head and tail of a bull. They named him Asterion, but everyone called him the Minotaur, which means bull of Minos. Imagine growing up as a half-man, half-bull. The Minotaur wasn't just a strange-looking kid, he was a monster. As he grew, he became ferocious and wild. He didn't eat normal food, he craved human flesh. King Minos was horrified and ashamed of this creature. He couldn't kill his wife's son, but he couldn't let him roam free either. The monster was a constant, terrifying reminder of the king's broken promise and the god's anger. So King Minos needed a place to hide his monstrous secret from the world. A prison from which no one could escape. This is where Daedalus, the brilliant inventor, comes back into the story. King Minos commanded him to build an inescapable prison for the Minotaur. Daedalus designed the labyrinth, a massive, confusing maze under the palace of Knossos. It was a network of winding passages and dead ends, designed to confuse anyone who entered. The Minotaur was thrown into the center of this maze. There he lived in darkness and solitude, a lonely prisoner waiting for his next meal, a symbol of a terrible secret that a powerful king tried desperately to bury. So the Minotaur is a scary monster locked in a maze. But is that all he is? Not really. In myths, monsters are never just monsters. They mean something more. The Minotaur is a perfect symbol of the beast inside all of us. Think about it. He's half human and half animal. That's a lot like people, isn't it? We have our civilized side, the part that thinks, talks, and follows rules. But we also have a wild, primal side. This is the part that gets angry, feels jealousy, and acts on instinct without thinking first. The Minotaur represents that raw, untamed part of human nature. He is driven by hunger and rage, not by logic or kindness. He is the embodiment of our most basic animalistic urges that we often try to hide from everyone else. We build metaphorical walls around these feelings, just like King Minos built the labyrinth. We don't want people to see our anger or our fear. We want to present ourselves as completely in control, as fully human. But that inner beast, that Minotaur, is always there, lurking in the dark corners of our minds. This struggle is something everyone goes through. It's the battle between our rational thoughts and our gut feelings. It's the fight between being polite and wanting to shout. The ancient Greeks were brilliant at turning these internal struggles into epic stories with unforgettable characters. By creating a physical monster that was half man and half beast, they gave a face to this universal human conflict. The Minotaur isn't just some creature from Crete. He is a mirror reflecting the duality that exists within every single person. The story reminds us that we can't just ignore our primal instincts. If we lock them away and pretend they don't exist, they might grow stronger and more monstrous in the dark, just like the Minotaur did in his prison. The myth suggests that we have to confront this inner beast. We have to understand it and maybe even learn to control it, rather than just locking it away. Facing our own personal Minotaur is a part of growing up and becoming a true hero in our own lives, which is a scary but necessary adventure. Now let's talk about the Minotaur's home, the labyrinth. It wasn't just a bunch of random hallways. The labyrinth is a powerful symbol all on its own. It represents the confusing and complicated journey of life. Sometimes you feel lost, right? You don't know which way to turn. You face dead ends and have to backtrack. That's the labyrinth. It's a metaphor for all the challenges, uncertainties, and difficult choices we face. Getting through life can feel like navigating a maze where a monster waits around any corner. The labyrinth was built to contain the Minotaur, but it also served another dark purpose. Every 9 years, King Minos demanded a tribute from the city of Athens. This tribute was 7 young men and 7 young women. They were sent into the labyrinth as a sacrifice to the Minotaur. Can you imagine the terror? They were thrown into this impossible maze, not just to get lost, but to be hunted. The maze wasn't just a prison for the monster. It was a death trap for the innocent, a place where hope went to die. The hero Theseus is the one who finally decides to end this horror. He volunteers to be one of the tributes, vowing to kill the Minotaur and find his way out. But he couldn't do it alone. He got help from the Princess Ariadne, King Minos' own daughter. She gave him two crucial things: a sword to fight the beast, and a ball of thread to navigate the maze. The thread is key. It symbolizes that even in the most confusing times, we need a clear path, a guide or a connection to help us find our way back to safety. Theseus' journey into the labyrinth is a hero's journey. He had to walk into the darkness, confront the monster at the center, and then find his way back to the light. This is a story about courage and cleverness. It's not enough just to be strong enough to fight the monster. You also have to be smart enough to escape the maze. The labyrinth teaches us that life's problems are often complex. You need both strength, the sword, and wisdom, the thread, to overcome them and emerge victorious from your personal struggles. So why are we still talking about a 3,000-year-old story about a bull-headed guy? It's because the myth of the Minotaur is timeless. The details might be ancient, kings, gods, and mazes, but the core ideas are as relevant today in 2025 as they were in ancient Greece. We may not have a literal Minotaur, but we all face monsters. These monsters can be our own fears, our anger, our self-doubt, or the dark parts of society that we are afraid to confront. The Minotaur is a symbol for any big, scary problem that seems unbeatable. Every day, we navigate our own labyrinths. Your personal maze might be the pressures of school, the complexities of social media, or figuring out what you want to do with your life. It's easy to feel lost and overwhelmed, as if you're wandering in circles with no clear exit. The story of Theseus gives us hope. It tells us that even the most complicated problems have a solution. It reminds us that we need to be brave and face our challenges head-on, but also that it's okay to ask for help, to find our own Ariadne's thread. Think about the hero, Theseus. He didn't just stumble into the labyrinth. He chose to go. He volunteered to face the danger to save others. This is a powerful message about taking responsibility and standing up for what is right, even when it's scary. In our world, we need heroes who are willing to enter the maze and confront the monsters of injustice, inequality, or ignorance. The myth encourages us to be that person, to be the one who says, "This isn't right, and I'm going to do something about it." Ultimately, the Minotaur's story survives because it's a story about what it means to be human. It's about the messy, complicated, and sometimes monstrous feelings inside us. It's about the confusing journey of life, and most importantly, it's about the courage it takes to face the darkness, both in the world and within ourselves, and find our way back to the light. The Minotaur may have been defeated by Theseus long ago, but his shadow still looms, reminding us of the timeless battle between man and beast that rages on inside us all.